This right here is the greatest billboard in the world that gets looked at 98% of times. Not an Instagram ad, not a YouTube ad, but the lock screen of your phone. Text messages get opened 98% of the time, and most of these get read within 3 minutes. Email, for comparison, sits at around 20%. That's not a small gap. That's the difference between a message being seen and a message that gets buried. So here's the real question. If you're an e-commerce brand and you're not treating your customers' phones as owned media real estate that you control, you're leaving the single most valuable asset sitting idle. The people who already bought from you once. So here's where it gets interesting, and where most business owners are behind with not knowing this. For 20 years, SMS meant plain text, 160 characters, no images, no branding, just a number that you didn't recognize. That's changing right now with RCS, Rich Communication Services. Think of an SMS upgrade. Your logo and business name show up verified in the message thread. You can send real images and product carousels, buttons people can actually tap, read receipts, all inside the same native texting app that your customers are familiar with. No download, no new app, right in their text messages. Since Apple brought RCS to the iPhone at the end of 2024, adoption has been fast. Early data on click-through rates for RCS is running several times higher than plain SMS. This is not some future channel that you'll eventually get to. This is happening now, and major businesses are already hopping on this wave. So here's the part that should make you a little uncomfortable. Go pull up the Meta Ads library right now and search any well-funded DTC brand. You will find them running entire ads where the goal is just to collect a phone number and gain consent, because they've already done the math. Acquisition costs on paid ads keep climbing every year, but texting someone who already knows your brand costs a fraction of that over and over again. This is not a maybe someday trend. This is bigger, better funded brands already redirecting budget out of pure acquisition and into owned channels. The list you already own is worth more than the next stranger you pay to acquire. So let me put it in a different way. Every e-commerce business has a bucket. It's full of past customers, people who already bought from you, already trust you, and already know what you sell. You didn't have to convince them of anything. You already spent the money once to get them in the door. But if you don't have direct and consented way to reach back into that bucket, it leaks quietly. And 18 months from now, that customer who loved their first order has completely forgotten that you're still in business. Brands that run a real SMS cycle along with email consistently see amazing results. So what does consent actually give you beyond permission to text somebody? First, an owned line to your customers that nobody can take from you. Not an algorithm, not a platform policy change, definitely not a rising ad auction. You decide when to reach them and what to say. Second, a live pulse on your business. When someone opens a text, clicks a link, or replies with a question, that's real signal. You start to see what's actually resonating with them instead of just guessing from a sales sheet at the end of the month. Two-way texting turns your customers into the best clients that you will ever see. You learn how things are really going in your business in real time instead of months down the line. And that's the part that changes how you run your company. But here's the uncomfortable truth about the timing of this. Paid acquisition isn't getting cheaper. Algorithms aren't getting more predictable, and consent rules around texting are not loosening up. If anything, they're getting stricter every year, which means that businesses building a real compliant consent list right now are going to have a bigger list at a lower cost than the ones who wait until it's the obvious thing to do. So here's what I would actually do starting this week, regardless of what tool that you use. I would add a real opt-in workflow within your marketplace. Not buried in the fine print, but an actual clear ask. One updates and offers by text. That single moment is where the majority of this starts. If you want to skip the trial and error, that's exactly what we built Ciclo for. Turning that opt-in into an actual retention engine. Combining AI-driven messages that feel like a handwritten card instead of just a mass spam. We're using SMS and RCS technology to bring back past customers automatically. But even if you don't work with us, please do this. Do not treat your past customers like a closed book. You already paid to acquire them once. And the only question left is whether or not you're going to use this or let it sit on the shelf until someone else puts their name on it.